What going on, everybody? What going on? It's your boy Nyko. Welcome back to Networking with Nyko, y'all. If y'all haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And make sure you guys hit that bell for me one time for the one time. So anyway, let's jump right into it. We are going to be talking about periods today. Yes, this is a trigger word for some trans men out here, but a lot of people have that question as to, do trans men get their periods and how do they act, or does it make them more dysphoric? Does it make them less dysphoric? Do all trans men have their period? There's so many questions that everyone has that a lot of trans men don't like to talk about because it's triggering, or a lot of trans men don't talk about because it's just something that they don't want to mention. So today, it's your boy Nyko, and Nyko is going to explain to y'all everything about a trans man getting their period and how it makes me certainly feel or not. So let's rewind to before I started my transition. I did used to get my period. Getting my period wasn't really something that I felt dysphoric about. I mean, being honest with y'all, it didn't really make me feel less of a man or more of a woman. Really and truly, I didn't really care about my periods, being honest with y'all. All right, y'all. So one thing about it, I did cut the clip real quick just to give y'all a little insider scoop on me. When I was, before I started my transition, I essentially did not like wearing panties for my periods. So I am going to explain more about what I did for that part of my transition. Before, when I used to get my periods, I always wore pads, which I speak about. But with me wearing these pads, I would wear boxer briefs or boxers, tidy whities, whatever y'all want to call it, that would hold the pads instead of wearing underwear. The one thing that I can say with my growing up, it wasn't the periods that I had an issue with. It was more of the underwears that I was more dysphoric about. I started wearing male underwear in about 5th or 6th grade, around the time my period did start. So I just wanted to cut the clip and like actually add that in so you guys can see. Like, I essentially wore briefs, boxers, and I'm gonna show pictures right here of examples of what I used to wear with my pads. So for you trans men out here that haven't started your transition and are looking for something to make you feel less dysphoric, I feel like that did help me to be less dysphoric with my transition prior to me starting T. And ever since then, I've always worn men and male boxers and underwear just because I felt more comfortable. It made me feel more masculine. I didn't have to wear a period panty or a period underwear or boy shorts or whatever the case may be that periods call for. I would be able to wear the boxer briefs and I would be able to put my always pad in between it and rock it like that. So I know there's some trans men out here that'll say they used to wrap up some napkins or whatever. I don't feel like I was that dysphoric. I never used to go to the store and buy my pads anyway. I just used to siphon them from my mom. So there's that. But yeah, being dysphoric though, overall, I don't think I was very dysphoric about my periods. It was just more so I would be more dysphoric about the pads. So we're gonna get back to the video. So yeah, that was just my little insider side note. So yeah, it was just like another day for me. Like I didn't even pay attention to my periods, to be honest with y'all. Like I would one day wake up and it would be there. And I got my first period, I want to say probably in like 6th grade. I had no idea what it was. I definitely did panic. I was like, why am I bleeding? Am I hurt or something? But anyway, I went to my mom and talked about it. P.S. side note, right? Growing up, you know, you got those sexual classes or not sex ed, but like they would teach you about, well, at least in my schools in the islands where I was, they would teach you how to use a pad, how to use a tampon, stuff like that, sex stuff, like make sure you use a condom, stuff like that. I never participated in those classes because I didn't care about my female organs to care how to use a tampon. Like, ain't no way anything going inside of me. No, like that's dead. I was certified pad user. Yeah, y'all could call me a person that used diapers, whatever y'all want to call it. Always pads, they rock. I don't care what nobody say. I was never using a tampon, never have, never will, not needed. So anyway, I just never took any of those classes to take the time to figure out like, about my menstrual cycle. That just was not on my mind. I'm pretty sure it's because I was dysphoric, but I wasn't dysphoric to the point that I can't talk about my period, or I can't talk about being on my period, because it was just, I mean, it's a part of life, bro. So for me, this is a trigger YouTube session right now. I'm sorry, guys out here that's watching it. No offense to you guys, but there's a lot of people that ask the question, do trans men get their period? And I just want to confirm yes or no based on my experience. So back to what I was saying. Getting my period up until before I started T, my period wasn't heavy and it wasn't frequent. So I was always getting abnormal periods, they would call it. 1 month I would get it, it'd probably be 2 days. The next month I'll probably get it for 3 days. The next month I'll get it for 1 day. 1 month I would miss. It's not because I was sleeping with a guy, because I never slept with a guy. It's just how my body was. It just was not producing my menstrual cycles the correct way, I guess. I don't recall having 7-day periods and extreme cramps. I do remember around the time that when I did have my periods before I became a trans man, that if I lost too much blood, if it was heavy, as you guys would call it, I would be fatigued and faint, but it was never like a pain thing that you guys go through. A lot of you females go through. So power to you females. I couldn't go through a lot of that pain that I see a lot of my friends go through. So back to the topic. When I started T last year, February 2020, that January was the last time I saw my period. I've been on T since February 2020, and today we are in, I want to say, April 2021. I have not seen my period since. I just haven't seen it. I don't know. It just stopped. Like, I mean, I don't get cramps. I can say that I still notice that around, I guess, when my period would normally happen, like before I had my period, I would normally get like pimples on my face. Or at least one big pimple, so I would know that my period is coming. I don't know, my body used to do that. So I can say that I still do get that one pimple that pops up, but I don't know if it's because of T that you get acne, or if it's because this is around the time my period would normally happen. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference because I didn't pay attention to my period. Like, it would just show up. So for a trans man getting their period, I know some stories, yes, some trans men do get their periods, but no, me, Nyko, I haven't had my period since last year, January 2020, when I was not on T. So since I've been on T, I haven't had my period. I know a lot of people have the question that, well, if you're not getting your period, how does your body clean itself or whatever? I'm not sure. I would just raise that question up to God. Just hope that everything is fine inside of you. Like, I'm not sure on that question. I do believe that transgendering, well, me becoming a trans and me taking testosterone helped me to not get my period. So I do know someone asked me, should they get testosterone or should they go on birth control to stop their period? Because some trans men do get their period. I would just say it's a case-by-case basis. It's for you to test it. So what you would have to do is literally start T and find out if it stops for you. I know a lot of trans men will say don't go on birth control because that will still make you spot. I'm not sure. I've never been on birth control, and I have no reason to because I don't mess with guys. But I would just recommend trying T first if you want to know if it will work for you. Essentially, it's worked for me. I haven't seen my period. I haven't even had cramps or anything. I don't really get headaches or anything, so I don't really know what the trigger would be for me to get my period, and I don't know what the difference is as to why certain trans men get their period and I haven't. I know my dosage is the 200 milligram, and I take 0.25 testosterone every week. So I don't know if my dosage is different than a lot of you trans men out here dosage, but I would just recommend talking to your doctor. I feel like maybe if you're still getting your period, you're not on a high enough T dosage. Your body's probably still producing more estrogen, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But it's just something that you would have to look into yourself. As for me, no, trans man Nyko does not get his period. I don't know what I would do if I was to get my period. I think it would mess with me because, nah, I doubt it, y'all. It's not gonna mess with me. My period never messed with me before. Like, I never sat down and was like, oh, dwelling, my period's coming. No, I never did none of that. So it was just like, you know, whatever, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'm very dysphoric about my period. I don't think I'm very, like conscious about it. Like, it's there, but it's not. But no, I honestly have not gotten my period. I would tell y'all if I did, because I feel like that would be a cool topic to be like, yeah, as a trans man, I got my period. Nah, my story's pretty bland. I didn't get my period. I don't think you get your period as a trans man. I mean, if I think of the ratio, right, of all the trans men that I spoke to about to see if they got their period, I probably talked to like 50 of them, and about 43 of them said they didn't, and then the other 7 did. It could also be if you start your transition as a younger kid, you're probably still going to get your period because you're doing now you're clashing two, what do you guys call it? You're clashing two periods, 2 puberties, I mean. So you're going through a woman puberty and then you're going through a man puberty. So you're probably still going to be on T and get your period during that time. But I guess because I was over 18, like I was kind of over my puberty stage. I'm not too sure, y'all. But no, as a trans man, I do not get my period. And I don't think many trans men out there get their period. I think that's one benefit of being on T. If you still do get your period though, guys, I definitely would recommend talking to your doctor about your dosage to see if you can get a higher dosage. Remember, guys, that even though you get a higher dosage, you don't want to take too much T because too much T will revert into estrogen. So it will clash each other out and you will be producing estrogen. So that could be another reason why some trans men are still getting their periods, because they have probably too much T that is turning into estrogen, and that's a bad thing. So too much good stuff is bad, and too little of the good stuff is bad, because then you're essentially not producing what you want to produce. So just look into your dosage. That's what I would recommend. So final answer, trans men do not get periods, according to Nyko, according to my lifestyle. I have not gotten my period. I've been on T for over a year. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated if I do get a period. But yeah, And I'm sorry for all the trans men out here that are dysphoric. I'm sorry about me talking about the periods. It's just something that I had to answer for a lot of people out here that's wondering, do trans men get periods? So if you guys haven't already and you guys want to see more episodes, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And make sure you guys hit that bell so you're notified of my latest videos to drop. More to come. If you guys have any specific things that you guys want me to talk about or want me to review, drop them in the comments below and I will see you guys next time. Later, I love you.